Okay, here's a HAARP update for April 19th, 2014. And first, let me just show you a really nice HAARP pattern. We can see that it's raining in Washington State, and Oregon is about to get a bunch of rain. So what do we see on the HAARP display? Guess what? We see some pretty amazing herringbone. Let me zoom it a little bit better and center it, because you can't miss this one. Okay, so we've got Oregon, which is about to have heavy rain right there, is getting harped. In other words, they're doing a downburst of dry air, and when the ionosphere snaps back, it re-radiates at something 7 kilohertz or thereabouts, producing that herringbone. And this is not typical, because we usually see the herringbone being perpendicular to the geckona, which is in that direction there. So I think the reason for that is, if we look at this giant low pressure up here, this is a really big, messy, diffuse low pressure, and apparently it's sort of messing up their beam, causing it to curve or something. I'm not really sure why we don't have clean, straight ELF herringbone on there. Yesterday, let's look at the rainfall that happened yesterday, because again it fits the pattern. Let's see. We can see a whole lot of core outs, and my favorite observation is the Texas-New Mexico line. See how that rain just absolutely stops right at the Texas-New Mexico line. It's been doing that, well, since 2010. Okay, it really has not rained in this critical agricultural area for 3 years. And that is no coincidence, folks. Okay, and we've got, we saw last night on last night's video that there was a crescent of rain that was following the jet stream. So unfortunately that crescent kept moving and moving, so we don't have just a pretty little bunch of core out crescents to look at, except we do have, here's a nice little crescent here. So that was a core out, here's a core out, and the round shape is because the radars don't go very far into Canada, so ignore that part. But the any place where you have okay, well here's a good core out. Now this is actually a HAARP core out, and again, when the rain's trying to get on land and it just gets hollowed out right in the middle, you can bet that was a HAARP downburst. Oh, and here's a pretty little donut. Yeah, pretty little donut. Why would a rainstorm have a donut? You know, that's contrary to how rain operates. Okay, so a few minutes ago, well, actually about 30 minutes ago, the Texas Panhandle just started getting the HAARP signal. So the HAARP signal is now happening in Texas, and it's not being shown on this map, but instead of doing the round-shaped downburst, these guys running the HAARP machine are now doing straight. I mean, they're shifting the beam, and it's going and heating the ionosphere so that we're actually getting these straight rain fronts. Let me show you the dang map. What is that dang map? Oh heck. Well, Intellicast has a current weather map, current radar map. Let me refresh this. Sorry about that. But I know there is a absolutely straight as an arrow line of rain off in New Mexico right now because I see it on the television radar update. Hopefully it'll show up on here. I don't know how old this map is. Oh, it's not showing up. Okay, well, I'll have to do that later. Anyway, we see now that the Southern Pacific HAARP is now beaming into the Texas Panhandle. I can see that the signal is actually there present. So we should see this little guy here. If the Photoshop guide does not come in, we're going to see, well, this cloud cover is kind of thick, but we'll probably see a triangular burnout here, in addition to just the thermal trail that the thing leaves in the clouds. Okay, so a lot happening, and the reason is that Texas is projected to get a ton of rain in the next 48 hours. So the HAARP is going to be used very heavily. And so far, we are not actually seeing, I mean, it just started 30 minutes ago, and these maps are generally 30 minutes or older. So we will be seeing HAARP. Okay, we can start seeing some herringbone forming here. This looks like some herringbone forming up. But there's going to be heavy rain in this entire area, including central Texas. So HAARP is going to be very heavily used. And also, when you have strong lift like this, chemtrails don't help. You know, the chemtrail has to works by the heating of the sun, and this low pressure is too powerful. So even HAARP is going to be challenged here, but they're going to use it to the max over the next few days, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. Alrighty, thanks.